This is my living insurance policy. In exactly 14 days, these trays will provide more bioavailable nutrition than a month's worth of canned rations. Imagine it. A vertical rack glowing in the corner of a dark room, humming with the quiet energy of life. While the rest of the world is betting their survival on dusty cans and plastic-wrapped promises, these seeds are working for me. The grocery store produce aisle is a hollow facade. It's a lie we've been told to keep us complacent. The fresh greens you see there are travel-worn, nutrient-depleted shadows of food. They've been plucked green, gassed, and shipped across continents just to wilt the moment you get them home. And here is the terrifying reality. When the trucks stop, and they will stop, those shelves are gone in 48 hours. There is a divide happening right now. An us versus them. While the masses are out there, panicked, fighting over the last bag of wilted, nutrient-dead spinach, you are standing in your own home harvesting medicine. You aren't just a hobbyist anymore. You've graduated. You are a producer in a dying age of consumers. If you're watching this, you felt the shift. You know deep down that the supply chain isn't a bridge we can rely on. It's a fraying tightrope over a very dark canyon. You've seen the prices, you've seen the empty spots on the shelves, and you're done walking that line without a net. You're ready to take charge of your own survival. I'm sharing my specific seed bank list today because I refuse to be the only one on my block with a full plate. I can't live with the thought of being the only house with green in the windows while my neighbors suffer. If you find value in what I'm about to reveal, subscribe now. Join this community of producers. But if you choose to click away, and you find yourself staring at an empty white shelf next year, I want you to remember this moment. Remember that you had the roadmap in your hands, and you let it go. Don't leave your family's health, their very lives to chance. Secure your spot with us now. Moving into the core of our survival strategy, we are talking about return on investment. Not the kind on a stock ticker that can be wiped out by a flickering screen in an exchange building, but the kind you can touch, taste, and use to keep your heart beating when the world outside stops making sense. Number 8. Sunflower. The protein punch. In a true collapse, your biggest enemy isn't just hunger, it's muscle wasting. When the grid goes sideways, your life becomes a series of physical demands: hauling water, stacking wood, defending your perimeter. You cannot do that on a diet of white rice and hope. You need biological fuel. Most hobby growers harvest sunflowers at day 7 because they're sweet. That's a mistake. In a survival situation, we don't care about sweet. We care about density. Here is the pro secret. Don't harvest at day 7. Wait until day 12. Let those first true leaves emerge. By waiting those extra 5 days, you are looking at a crop that is 25% protein by weight. It's a plant-based steak that you grew in a tray for pennies. When the meat sections are empty and the local butcher has a closed sign on the door, these sunflowers are what will keep your back strong. This isn't gardening. This is an anabolic insurance policy for the common man. Number 7. Daikon radish, the detoxifier. Let's be real about the after. The water supply is the first thing to compromise. You'll be relying on stored pantry food, canned goods filled with preservatives, and water that hasn't seen a municipal filter in weeks. Your liver is going to be under siege from toxins you've never had to process before. Radish isn't just a garnish. It's a natural chelation agent, a biological scrub brush for your internal organs. Daikon microgreens contain compounds that help your body flush heavy metals and metabolic waste. And the survival ROI here is the speed. 5 days. From the moment you press those seeds into the medium to the moment you are harvesting life-saving medicine is less than a week. If you realize your supplies are low, you can have a full harvest before the week is out. That speed is your safety margin. Number 6. Pea shoots. The volume king. History books are full of people who died with full stomachs because they lacked one thing: vitamin C. Scurvy isn't a pirate myth. It's a slow breakdown of your connective tissues. When fresh fruit disappears from the shelves, you are at risk. One single tray of pea shoots contains the vitamin C equivalent of 20 oranges. 20. But here is why I call it the volume king. Most people grow a crop, eat it, and they're done. That's consumer thinking. We are producers. Use the regrow hack. When you harvest your pea shoots, take your shears and cut them exactly 2 inches above the soil line. Keep the tray watered. Within days, they will branch out and regrow. You can get a second and often a third harvest from a single seeding. 1 bag of peas in your storage is actually 3 bags of food. You are turning a handful of dry seeds into pounds and pounds of crunchy, life-sustaining volume. I want you to pause and look at what we're building. Most people, the ones you see glued to the news, will scroll right past this. They think they have all the time in the world, but you're still here. You understand that self-reliance is the only true freedom. Hit that subscribe button right now. Don't do it for me. Do it for the version of you that exists 6 months from now. Do it so you don't lose this roadmap when the noise of the world gets too loud to hear the truth. Don't be the person who meant to prepare but ended up standing in a line waiting for a handout that never comes. Secure your future. Subscribe and stay in the circle of the prepared. Number 5. Broccoli, the cancer shield. In a world where the medical system is overrun or simply inaccessible, you have to be your own doctor. You've probably heard of sulforaphane. It's the holy grail of cellular defense. It activates the NRF2 pathway, your body's internal mechanism for fighting off inflammation and environmental radiation. Broccoli microgreens have up to 50 times the concentration of this compound compared to the mature heads at the store. But here is the logic. To maximize it, you have to harvest them and then freeze them immediately. The freezing process breaks the plant's cell walls and triples the bioavailability of the sulforaphane. You're not just eating a salad. You're consuming a high-potency insurance policy against disease when there are no doctors to call. You're growing a pharmacy, not a meal. Number 4. Amaranth, the red blood builder. When the world goes dark and red meat becomes a luxury or a memory, iron deficiency and anemia become silent killers. It's a slow drain on your energy. It makes your limbs heavy and your mind sluggish. You cannot afford to be weak when your family is counting on you. Here is the secret. Grow the red varieties and don't stop at the 2-inch mark. Grow them to 4 inches. That deep crimson pigment isn't just for show, it's a signal of high-octane iron and beta-theanins. But the real modern pioneer move is what happens next. 1 single tray of amaranth yields enough seeds to plant an entire acre in the next season. In a collapse, your paper money is just fire starter. Seeds are the new gold. Seed saving is the only currency that actually grows in value while you sleep. You aren't just planting a crop, you're starting a bank. Number 3. Wheatgrass, the alkaline buffer. Most prepper diets are a disaster for your internal chemistry. It's all high-sodium, shelf-stable junk, canned meats and dried grains. That diet turns your blood acidic, leading to kidney stress and that foggy, heavy feeling in your head. You need a reset button. Let's look at the math. 1 single shot of wheatgrass juice contains the nutrient profile of 2 pounds of premium fresh vegetables. It is the ultimate survival supplement. It's concentrated life force. When you need to make split-second decisions for your family's safety, you cannot afford brain fog. You need the alkaline clarity that only living enzymes can provide. It's the difference between reacting and anticipating. Number 2. Red giant mustard, the circulation catalyst. If you find yourself hunkered down, maybe in a cold environment, or living a more sedentary, low-profile life to stay safe, your circulation becomes a liability. Blood clots and stagnation are real threats when you aren't as active as you used to be. Mustard greens are natural circulatory stimulants. They keep your extremities warm and your heart pumping efficiently. But here is the secret to the medicine. If it isn't spicy, you harvested too late. That sharp, nasal clearing heat is sinigrin. That is the compound that tells your blood vessels to open up and move. If it's mild, it's just a salad. If it's hot, it's life-saving medicine. Number 1. Basil, the morale maintainer. Never, ever underestimate the power of the human spirit. In a long-term crisis, people don't just give up because they're hungry. They give up because they are miserable. A year of eating bland, grey, mushy storage food will break even the strongest mind. Basil is your psychological pivot. It's your link to the old world. It is aromatherapy for high-stress management. The scent alone is proven to reduce cortisol. It turns a bowl of plain, boring beans into a meal that feels like a memory of home. It provides that taste of normalcy when nothing else is normal. And for the entrepreneur in you, these aren't just one-off harvests. These tiny microgreens can be transplanted into larger pots, becoming massive parent plants for infinite seed production. You aren't just growing food, you are growing the will to keep going. Now, we need to talk about the reality of the 0 hour. When the grid flickers, when the local garden center is boarded up, and when you can't just run out to buy another 40-pound bag of sterilized potting soil, this is where most people fail. They have the seeds, but they don't have the system. You need to be smarter. When the grid flickers and the world goes quiet, your ability to adapt becomes your only true currency. We are entering the zero-hour protocol, and this is where the gap between the hobbyist and the survivalist becomes a canyon. Most people are waiting for a rescue that isn't coming. You're refining the system. The blackout hack. Stealth sovereignty. You've been told you need massive sun or expensive grow-ops. That's a consumer's myth designed to keep you buying gear. In a high-stakes collapse, visibility is a liability. You don't want a glowing greenhouse signaling your resources to every desperate person for miles. You need the apartment bunker mindset. These 8 crops are biological miracles because they don't require high-intensity light to reach their peak nutrient density. I've grown full harvests in the back of a dark closet using a single $12 LED shop light. If the power cuts, a south-facing window or even a diffused sky on a rainy day provides enough signal for these seeds to explode. They aren't looking to grow into giant plants. They are just trying to reach the light. You can stack 5 trays vertically in just 2 square feet of space. That is a rotating, high-calorie medicinal pharmacy hidden in plain sight. It's silent, it's scentless, and it's your secret weapon, the soil lie, the weightless revolution. The big box retailers want you hauled down by 50-pound bags of specialized potting mix. It's heavy, it's messy, and it makes you immobile. If you have to leave, are you going to carry a bag of dirt? No. The secret they won't tell you is that a microgreen seed is a self-contained battery. It already has the energy, the minerals, and the blueprint inside its husk. It doesn't need soil for nutrition. It only needs a medium for grip and moisture. I've transitioned my entire Grow Lazy system to burlap scraps, recycled unprinted newsprint, and old cotton towels. By ditching the soil, you eliminate the bugs, the mold, and the dependency on a store. You are now lightweight. You are mobile. You can pack your entire food production system into a backpack and be gone in 10 minutes. That is true freedom. The barter factor. The new economy of life. When the paper in your wallet returns to its intrinsic value of 0, the true market will emerge. Forget the gold bars and the silver coins. You can't eat them, and you can't use them to cure a vitamin deficiency. In the after, a fresh tray of living greens is the most sought-after commodity on the planet. You aren't just a gardener, you are a high-value asset. You are the only person on the block who can produce life-saving enzymes in a world of dead canned food. Here is the specific trade value breakdown for your inventory. When you approach a trade, you aren't selling salad, you are selling a solution to a physiological crisis. Number 8, sunflower, the protein. This is your heavy hitter. To a neighbor who has spent weeks eating nothing but watery soup and crackers, this is muscle. A single tray of 12-day sunflowers is worth 5 gallons of fuel or a box of high-caliber ammunition. It is strength in a tray. Number 7, daikon radish, the liver guard. Trade this to the person who has been drinking questionable water or living on high-sodium rations. Their skin is yellowing, they are sluggish. You are trading them a liver detox. Value, 3 nights of perimeter security or a gallon of potable water. Number 6, pea shoots, the multi-harvest. This is the ultimate subscription trade. You aren't just giving them a meal, you're teaching them the regrow hack. Because it yields 3 times, its barter value is triple. Trade a seeded tray for a high-quality hand tool or a warm wool blanket. Number 5, broccoli, the medicine. This is your chemotherapy. This is your insurance. When the local clinic is boarded up and people are terrified of the environmental toxins in the air, a frozen bag of micro broccoli is worth its weight in gold. Value, specific medical supplies or antibiotics. Number 4, amaranth, the blood builder. Trade this specifically to women and the elderly who are showing signs of anemia. It's the red gold. Because of its seed-saving potential, 10,000 seeds per tray, this is a long-term investment. Trade it for a high-value piece of equipment like a solar charger. Number 3, wheatgrass, the brain reset. This is for the leaders, the people who need to be sharp. If your local coordinator is suffering from pantry brain fog, a shot of wheatgrass is the only thing that will clear their head. Value, information, intel, or a seat at the table where decisions are made. Number 2, mustard, the warmth. In the winter months, circulation is life. Trade these spicy catalysts to those struggling with the cold. It's a biological heater. Value, dry firewood or a reliable fire starter kit. Number 1, basil. Don't underestimate the price of a memory. To someone who hasn't tasted anything but salt and iron for months, the scent of basil is a miracle. It prevents the collapse of the will, anything they have left. A man will give his last silver coin just to feel like a human being again for 10 minutes. Imagine your neighbor, 3 weeks into a diet of nothing but dry beans and salt, staring at the physical signs of malnutrition in his children. You show up with a tray of fresh pea shoots or spicy mustard greens. That tray isn't salad anymore. It's a miracle. You can trade those enzymes for ammunition, for fuel, or for security. You aren't just a gardener. You are a high-value asset. You are growing the most sought-after commodity on the planet, health. This isn't just about plants in a tray. This is about an identity shift. When you plant these 8 seeds, you are undergoing a transformation. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are securing your sovereignty. Every tray you grow, every harvest you take, is a quiet, powerful middle finger to a system that wants you hungry, scared, and entirely dependent on their crumbling infrastructure. You are choosing to be the one who provides while everyone else is begging. You are the modern pioneer, and your windowsill is your frontier. I've shown you my survival rack. I've given you the roadmap. Now, I'm putting the ball in your court. I challenge you right now to start just 1 tray this week. Not 8, not a whole farm. Just 1. I want you to feel that spark of entrepreneurship. That surge of dopamine when you see life emerging from a medium you didn't think would work. Tag me in 30 days with your progress. I'll be personally featuring the pioneers who actually took action, the ones who stopped talking and started growing. Let the world see that we aren't waiting for permission to survive. The window is closing. You can feel it in the air, you can see it in the headlines, and you can see it in the rising prices at the pump and the store. Subscribe right now and join the 2% who are actually ready. This is your final charge. If you choose to ignore this, if you click away and go back to the old world distractions, I truly hope the grocery stores stay full for your sake. I really do. But hope isn't a strategy. Hope won't feed your family when the trucks stop moving. Survival is a strategy. Action is a strategy. Choose to be ready. I'll see you on the other side.